Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to see how to contribute to an open source project. Yes, and for a beginner developer this has been a great challenge each and every time when you try to start with the new open source project and try to contribute with them, and it was a help for me too. So what I'm trying to do here is I will show you my own pull request, my own first pull request that I made to open source project, so that people can get some idea on how to approach a particular beginner new issue and take upon it and work upon that until your first pull request is merged into the code base. Let's get into the video. So Sia is the open source project that I have contributed for my first time. So Sia is a decentralized cloud storage platform that currently exists on the internet. It is really secure. So how this works actually is, if you see into this, they are currently working like a renter and a host basis model. So the host will be providing their own hard drive space to all the other renters around the world. And if you see in the map, you can see all those dots, right? So they are all the space hosts, like they are having their own data centers, and they are renting out all those data centers. And the Sia network also has their own cryptocurrency that is called as Sia coin, and the renters will be paying the host through all Sia coins. If you see the stats, right, so the entire storage capacity of the entire Sia network is 2.3 petabytes, and currently 574 TBs is used right now. And we know that it is private since it is blockchain. And yeah, this is one important note to see, far more affordable when Amazon S3 is charging you like $23 per TB. But Sia, if you go to Sia, it costs only $1 to $2 per month for 1 TB, right? So yeah, it's pretty much cheap. Yes, and it is open source project, and you can also list the number of contributors and number of releases, forks, and commits. Okay, now let's go and look into their repository. This is the code repository of Sia project that is being hosted into the GitLab actually. Much of the project we are seeing right in our real time, it will be most of them at the GitHub only, but this is quite different because the Sia project is using Go as their programming language, and I heard that GitLab is providing much more support for Go programming language in terms of testing and running CI and CDs. It seems like they are giving much more support for Go language, so people who are using Golang are going to GitLab, it seems like that. And this is the this is the code, source code, and this is the readme Sia. So this is how the client application will look like. So you have to download this application to make yourself as host, or else if you even want to rent out a particular space, you have to download this so that you can actually see who are the hosts available and how much Sia coins, SC means here Sia coins, how much you are owning your Sia coins, and how much space you have rented out from your host. All those information can be seen through this client application. Yes, okay, that's one. And yes, this is all about the source code. And if you come to the merge request part, right, so I will show you my merge request that I have created and that has been merged to the master branch. So there are totally 3 pull requests that has been done a year ago, and yeah, it's been a little bit outdated. Anyway, I will show you this. One important thing is to always start with a very small issue, like fixing a typo in documentation. Whatever open source project you take, there will definitely be a typo or some kind of broken links into the documentation. Try fixing that and create a new pull request for that, so that you can understand the process of how everything works, like from how to create a pull request and how to ask for code review, and finally how your entire change is merging into the code base. So once you understand this process, you can move to the core part, like writing your own code, and after that you can ask for pull request and like that. So if you see my first merge request, right, it is a simple documentation type of fix. If I go to the changes, you can see I just changed this list to ls. That is all the changes. After that, I have submitted this code review, and it was approved by he's a CEO and he's one of a senior lead developer. So they approved this code request and he has merged this to their own code base. After fixing the documentation fix, I moved somewhat core part of the code base actually. I've asked this Matthew Sevi, right? He's a lead developer there. I've approached him through Discord actually. So all open source project will be having their own chatting channel, like it will be some kind of Slack channel, and some will be having a Discord channel. Someone will be having a IRC channel also. So they will be mentioning in their contribution site. You can find that one. You can join the channel and you can ask people on how to approach your beginner task, right? And definitely they will be helpful. They will be explaining you a lot of things on how to approach a particular problem and how to solve it, and also they will explain how to write your code. Actually there will always be code of conduct, like how should you comment your code. So this is my first code based merge request. If you see, this is actually a feature implementation. So I have to add a new feature for a CLI application to add a new command actually called as set local path, and its arguments here. So if you go into the changes, you can see it is written in Go language, and the changes are in two files actually. One is main.go and render.cmd.go. The main change, the function change is in the render.cmd.go only. So I have to write a new function here. Yeah, and I also have to add new so this is actually what I'm talking regarding the code of conduct. They asked me to write this command, like we have to mention the handler and what this handler for this function exactly do, and for which command I'm actually using this function for, and I have to give that small description of this function, what is exactly it's doing. This is one point about commands. And next thing is they have always asked me to write if condition for checking error, and we should never add a else condition without any mandatory purpose. In the code of conduct, they don't like else much of that. If you're checking for error, you can simply use if, and you can directly like start writing the next statements. So yes, there is no else. So this is just a command arguments that we have to pass to these functions, and this function should be registered in the main.go so that it can call this directly when it is called. So yeah, that's all about the changes of this merge request. So once I submitted this MR, people have saw, and there was some changes actually. So he's Thomas Bennett. He's also a contributor like me. He was giving some advice regarding how to do submit all these merge requests, and they were he's a CEO guy. He was giving me some suggestion on how to set the how he preferred that the command should be look like. So there was some discussion going on regarding that, and finally they agree with the local path was good, and yeah, finally it was set like that, and finally it was merged to the code base. In terms of communication, this is the Discord channel that they are using in the Sia network. If you see, there is lots of channels, and there is a channel called as contributors. So if you go into the channel, you can ask any kind of questions, like even if it may be a silly question, but these people will be really helping you out on starting with your first merge request, and they will be they will answer you any silly questions, like even it will be extremely silly. And yeah, there will be lots of other channels also, like announcements and all. They will be announcing each time like what are the releases and what, like kind of a change log actually. Whenever they are releasing a new version, they will be announcing it here so that people can understand what are the new features that has been released into the latest version and all. So guys, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe my channel and make sure you leave your comments, and hope you guys are doing good. Take care. Bye bye.